Good evening, folks. This is Luis coming to you live at the bottom of the hour from WIBH, y'all's little corner of the Appalachian airwaves. Tonight's show, how to celebrate Halloween safely in our hills, and maybe a little spooky storytelling for those brave enough. Remember, kids, keep your jack-o'-lanterns lit, your candy sealed, and your eyes peeled for any unusual visitors. And for those of you carving pumpkins alone at home, don't let the shadows scare you too much. Must be the old wiring again. Alright, I promise you all some music to get you the spirit, so let's spin that vinyl. What in the... Did y'all hear that?
Luis, Tim, are you guys here?
Luis, what was that noise? I thought the station was haunted.
Haunted? Tim, you know this place is as old as dirt. But yeah, something just knocked over my mic stand.
Or something living up there?
Okay, that did not sound like a wiring problem.
Guys, I don't think we're alone.
Alright, everyone stay calm. Let's see, maybe it's just a raccoon. Yeah, a big raccoon. Nothing to worry about.
Not a raccoon!
Okay, that's definitely a monster from the hills. Everyone grab something. Tim, the fire extinguisher. Araya, the broom!
Luis, oh, it's huge. It's got horns and glowing eyes.
It's that mountain thing. They say it only comes out around Halloween.
It's gone for now. Well, that was a little more excitement than I planned for tonight's show. Remember, folks, celebrate Halloween safely, and maybe don't wander too far into the Appalachian woods. You never know who or what might be listening. You shouldn't have turned on the radio. So, I'm all in the Halloween spirits now because of that skit.
Wow, yeah. After that skit especially.
Welcome to the Itty Bitty Horror Podcast with Luis and Tim. In this podcast, we discuss everything from horror movies to the scariest tales out there, especially those from the Appalachian woods that have a sense of humor.
Oh!
Welcome to Midnight in October, our special 5-part series packed with the kind of chills and thrills that just feel right for this month. From eerie Appalachian lore to the childhood horror.
Were you curious about what kind of lore it was? You hesitated.
No, I was going to say something else. We're diving headfirst into the dark. For today's episode, we welcome back to the podcast Araya. She was previously on episode 37, Georgia's time-traveling glitching gas station. I think that's what it was called.
A classic.
Her and Tim both agreed that I was crazy and that there was nothing spooky about that. So I'm going to let it slide for now.
Thank you.
In this episode, we're going to revisit the spooky and misty Appalachian Mountains. I keep saying Appalachian. I know Tim says, like, well, you're not from the area, so you shouldn't say it like that. But
well, I just don't know. I don't know what's overdoing it here. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if you overpronounce a word to try to sound exactly like the locals, you are a poser. And then other times it's like the correct thing you should be doing. So I don't know.
Guide us through this. We have Araya, who's actually from the South, and she grew up in a little shack in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
Araya, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, how have you been since we last had you on the podcast?
You don't even want to know.
Oh, no. That's ominous.
I was joking, obviously, about you growing up in a shack in the Appalachian Mountains, so I don't want our listeners to actually think, like, oh my God, they actually got
a shack person.
I know that you're close to the region or you're from the region, right? But do you have any stories that you would like to share from your own, like, growing up and hearing stories about the mountains?
My grandmother grew up in a holler in the Appalachian Mountains. It's a valley in the mountains where like there are like water systems that connect.
Oh, okay. And what's the significance of that?
Well, because like back in the day, because they're valleys, so like it's kind of like in a holler, that's where your people are at, like your family. People say like, "Ooh, I came from a tight pole." That means there's some inbreeding going on.
Oh, I've never even heard I came from a tight pole. What does that mean? What is that from? A tight
Uh,
pole?
like family tree, you came from a pole.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay. That does make sense.
Oh, kind of like just one straight pole or something.
Yeah.
How about you, Tim? I know that you're obviously not from the South, but obviously you
I'm
were.
still from a tight pole, though.
Yeah, there are tight poles everywhere.
Yeah. The English royal family everywhere.
So, I mean, you were obviously in the last episode, Tim, for the Appalachian Mountains.
It's a safe bet. I'm in most of them.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to compared to our previous episode?
Well, gosh, I would like to explore more of Araya's past, and I want to know all about her tight pole, number one. And then number two, I feel like we only kind of scratched the surface about, what's so scary about the Appalachian Mountains. And I feel like I really want people who are listening to this, our little itty bitties, to get, kind of a real sense of like what makes this mountain range so kind of uniquely spooky in our country, because I feel like it's kind of infamous almost, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it totally is. And it also, the last episode, we had the very famous introduction of Eloise.
Oh, yes. My alter ego.
My alter ego, at least, when I'd be like, my grandma was born in Bryson City. Yeah, like when I first spoke with Araya at the bar, I showed her that little clip and she was saying like, that is the worst Southern accent I've ever heard.
We were going for kind of a cross between Blanche Dubois and Blanche from Golden Girls.
Yeah, Blanche Devereaux. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For today's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking a little bit about 3 different unique stories. Well, I say quote unquote unique to us because we've never heard of them, but we're going to give you some context behind one of the monsters and then tell you a real life story. How does that sound? Araya, Tim, you two ready?
I don't know.
Let's go.
This first story comes from brickthology.com. It's hard to take this cryptid entirely seriously, mostly because of the name. But the Sheepsquatch, also known as the White Thing, has a long history in West Virginia folklore. Some accounts treat the two as separate entities, yet descriptions are so similar, it's likely that they're one and the same. The earliest known mention comes from 1965 in Ruth Ann Music's The Telltale Lilac Bush and Other West Virginia Ghost Tales. Music, a folklorist, described the White Thing as both physical and spectral, a ghostly presence haunting the Appalachian wilderness. Over time, the creature became known as Sheepsquatch, a hybrid of sheep and Sasquatch imagined in the minds of locals. Witnesses describe a massive, dog-like or bear-sized creature with long, shaggy white fur, goat-like horns, fanged jaws, and raccoon-like paws and tail. It moves swiftly, sometimes on 2 legs, sometimes on all 4s, and is said to emit a scream like a woman, eerily reminiscent of the call of a mountain lion.
Isn't that your Grindr description?
I do emit a scream like a woman. I advertise that right up front.
Profile name is The White Thing.
Yeah, I knew you were going to come back to the white thing.
It has shaggy white fur, goat-like horns. That sounds like you. That's how I met you at where we used to work together.
That's right. I had horns. You were like, shave those things off. This is a place of business. Later sightings painted a more demonic picture. Extra legs, red eyes, immense claws, and a hairless tail. Some reports suggest it attacks without provocation, yet victims often emerge unharmed, leading many to believe in its phantom qualities.
All right, that sounds like the worst monster out there.
I know, causes no harm.
Yeah, it's so physically scary. And it has like these red eyes and claws and ready to just like slash you. But in reality, the thing is just like, hey, y'all walking through my neighborhood here in the Appalachian Mountains?
Well, you better not. I'm a phantom.
Well, phantoms, you better leave.
I'm gonna scream.
Like a woman.
I know. What a loser ghost. Sorry to the Sheepsquatch. I don't want to, offend it. I mean, God forbid we're ever walking through there.
Yeah, we don't need white on white crime.
White thing on white crime. Yeah, I agree. A telltale sign of its presence is the smell of sulfur, linked to the TNT area of Mason County, the same region tied to Mothman sightings. Folklore also connects it to Cherokee legends of white wolves, omens of death, and to the British tradition of black dogs, phantom animals signaling danger or mortality. That's interesting. It's in the same area as Mothman sightings. Do you think there's just like a gas leak in that area?
And people are
I
hallucinating.
mean, you never know.
I swear I saw half dog, half frog, 100% diva out in the woods.
It was 100% diva, that much I know.
It had a microphone and it was doing a breakdance. I know it was possessed.
I know it.
And that's, my folks, is how we got Britney Spears.
Yeah. Born in the Appalachian wilderness, destined to be a pop icon.
Dolly Parton is from the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So she is one of the cryptids, but in a good way, because we love Dolly.
She is a large, kind of, well, not large, but a tall, or I guess her hair is just tall, really. I don't know why I think she's tall.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I went to Dollywood once, and they had a museum like filled with her gowns, and
Oh, wow.
so they were to fit her, like the mannequins they were on, like I'm guessing are similar to like her body, right?
In every way.
Yeah, dude,
Mhm.
she is short, and I do not understand how she stands up straight.
Because of two big reasons, right?
Bazingas!
Well, those bazingas. Thank you, Louise, for making it clear to the fans. Sightings have spanned decades and locations. The Kanawha Valley, Boone, Mason, and Putnam counties. Reports range from a 3-foot wide-headed creature pacing alongside a speeding car to a towering 8 or 9-foot beast confronting campers. Some accounts, like that of Edward Rollins, note the sulfurous smell while observing the creature drinking from a creek. Others, including groups in Alabama, recount similar encounters with a white, fur-covered, clawed creature capable of mutilating livestock. Explanations vary. Some argue misidentified animals, wolves, mountain lions, albino deer, could account for sightings. Others suggest practical jokers, or even speculative theories like surviving Ice Age predators such as the American cave lion. The Sheepsquatch has even appeared on reality TV, from Monsters and Mysteries in America to Mountain Monsters, with claims of 9-foot-tall white-furred beasts captured on video. Video games like Fallout 76 have drawn inspiration from West Virginia's cryptids, including the White Thing, blending folklore with interactive storytelling. Over time, the White Thing morphed into Sheepsquatch, a name reflecting the Bigfoot craze rather than its ghostly origins. Folklore, misidentifications, and local storytelling merged, creating a cryptid whose size and features seem to grow with each retelling. From a death omen white dog to a hulking forest monster, the Sheepsquatch endures as a living legend in Appalachia, a creature both terrifying and impossible to pin down. No matter the explanation, the Sheepsquatch remains a testament to the power of folklore, an ever-evolving story that thrives on fear, imagination, and the unknown. Ooh, Louise, what do you think of that one, huh?
Well, it's funny because, like, as people are recounting the stories over time, they keep changing this Sheepsquatch to mean something else, right?
I know, but isn't that just always what it's like with folklore? I mean, I'm sure La Llorona changed its description a little bit over time.
No, she was always crying.
Okay, maybe that part was the same, but you get what I mean. Every cryptid of every culture, right?
Yeah, no, totally. But I think with this one specifically, because first it was like a sighting of a wild wildebeest type thing with white fur, to now it being like maybe it's a ghost, and now
Maybe it's a ghost. with horns.
And now it's like Bigfoot's like lesser known ugly cousin.
I know. The Sheepsquatch really doesn't get enough credit compared to Bigfoot. I feel like Bigfoot kind of hogs the spotlight. I don't really know what that is either.
Yeah, because he's just a big monkey, no?
I mean, is he? I mean, we don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's what I picture. I guess we're all just picturing that famous, I believe it was revealed to be a hoax, but that footage, you know, of that guy in the dark fur kind of walking.
Yeah. Well, so for this one, it's really interesting because I think just seeing the images online and just even seeing or thinking that you saw it in real life,
Yeah.
oh, fucking crazy as hell. Like I'd be scared for sure. But
Oh, I know.
the monster doesn't really do anything. He's just like, I'm just minding my business, doing my own thing. I have a little gay list, by the way.
You're making him like the Family Guy character, aren't you?
Yeah. Sorry,
I recognized it immediately. There's another, I feel like, well, okay, I'm going to say this first. I feel like there's something really creepy about its white fur because I don't know exactly why. I feel like when you're in a forest, you know, in a mountain forest, let's say, which is what I picture, right? Like foggy, you know, pine trees or whatever the kind of trees are that are in the Appalachians. I feel like I picture a bear, you know what I mean? Or even Bigfoot. It wouldn't be that shocking to see. So I feel like if you see something with like a rat-like tail and white fur, there's something kind of really, it's like out of place. And that's why it's kind of so creepy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you could easily identify one in the woods. And the thing is, like, if you have white fur in the woods, like, you're going to get that shit dirty.
Yeah. Oh, well, right. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I'm just saying because, like, with other animals, it's easier for them, or cryptids or whatever, they can kind of, like, blend into the woods and
Yeah.
you up and prey on you. You know, they're predators. But this one is like, well, I really can't hide because my fur's very obvious. So, plus, also, I don't like attacking hikers or anything. So I'm just gonna, you know, just chill here and make myself a little spaghetti sandwich. What the hell is
Spaghetti sandwich.
you know what I mean? They're just there minding their own business.
Just munching on a spaghetti sandwich and a bean souffle and welcome back, Araya. How's your phone?
Oh, it's intact, thankfully.
Good. For listeners wondering, Araya lost her phone in an Uber and she just recently retained it.
Yes. Hopefully no one hacked it and got into all the dick pics that I have in there.
Well, tune into next week's episode, everyone, and we'll find out if someone hacked in and got to all the dick pics.
Raya, what are your thoughts on the Sheepsquatch?
It's like okay, I don't know what a cryptic is, but it sounds like a feminine creature.
Well, it's a cryptid. So it's like crypt and then ID, like that. Yeah, it's a weird word.
Oh, did I say cryptic?
Yeah. Aren't you our expert on the scene from the Appalachians, Araya?
Well, so the thing is I've never heard of a Sheepsquatch before. It must be so I'm from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmother's from the Appalachian Mountains, like in southern Virginia, like on the border of North Carolina. So I think
Right.
Sheepsquatch was like a West Virginia thing.
No, they said Alabama as well.
Oh, really? Well, that's far away from me too. But
Well, did they ever talk about the white thing?
the white, I said my grandpa.
There's the white thing. He's coming in here. The white thing sitting on his rocking chair.
I've only know about like Brown Mountain Lights
Mm-hmm.
and Devil's Tramping Ground.
Oh, yeah, we definitely discussed Devil's Tramping Ground in the last episode. So I remember that one for sure. So
Yeah.
maybe some of this will begin to become more clear.
I
Or
guess.
maybe it won't.
I mean, I'm curious about the etymology of this name is Sheepsquatch.
Well, they were mentioning the fact that it had to do partially because it kind of changed because a lot of attention went to Bigfoot. And so they kind of just started calling it that. It was originally more called like the ghostly thing or the white thing because of its white fur.
Well, Araya, so you and our listeners and Tim and all of us basically learn a little bit more about the Sheepsquatch. We're going to talk about a real life encounter. Tim, do you want to continue the story?
This Sheepsquatch encounter actually comes from a TikTok, so we will hear more about it. And if you want to learn more, it's in the show notes. The Sheepsquatch is an old West Virginian legend dating back to the 1800s. Witnesses describe it as a massive Bigfoot-like creature with white fur, ram-like horns, and razor-sharp fangs. One story comes from the 1920s in Boone County, West Virginia. A hunter and trapper named Bo set out on a camping expedition with a friend, laying traps to catch beavers. When they returned to their campsite, something had been through. Large footprints unlike anything they had ever seen. Not human, and not animal. That night, while asleep in his tent, Bo awoke to a massive beast peering through the flap. He fired 3 shots from his rifle. The creature let out a blood-curdling scream and disappeared into the woods. At first, Bo thought it was a bear. The next day, after checking their traps, they returned to find the campsite completely destroyed. Spooked, they decided to keep a fire going and take turns watching through the night. I kind of like that the creature just peeked through the flap a little bit of the tent. He wasn't even trying to do anything.
I'm telling you that I think the Sheepsquatch is a pervert.
Oh, that's okay. So I didn't realize he was a perv.
Sheep, and I immediately thought about sex.
Well, you are from the South, so just kidding.
What does that mean? Our Southern listeners are tuning out in droves.
Southern listeners, we love you. You know we're just joking.
You know we're just kidding around, just pulling your leg.
Yeah, I think the Sheepsquatch is a pervert. I think he peeks through the tents trying to see
what they're up to alone.
Yeah, I think like the Sheepsquatch is walking around the woods and looking at different campsites, and he's eating like a little Butterfinger and a little milkshake. He's just like walking around seeing like, I wonder who's in these tents right now.
Oh, man.
As they walk through the tent, he's like, ooh, there's something happening in there. I think that's a guy and his uncle, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh, no.
And he lowers the little tent just to peek in. He's like, oh, he has a rifle. Let me run. And just like,
oh, you get that big rifle away from me.
Get that away from me. I don't like them guns pointing in my face.
You know, this is the second perverted cryptid that we've dealt with outside of the gay alien from previous episodes, Luis.
Oh, yeah. The gay alien is, well...
He's a little perverted.
Yeah, all right, Peach with the gay alien.
Oh, I know. Wait, did he die?
Well, he got his dick chopped off at Area 51, but that's another story.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's an aphrodisiac. Sleep eluded them. Something stalked them through the woods, repeatedly approaching and retreating, prompting gunfire that drove it away temporarily, only for it to return. By morning, Bo decided it was time to leave. He went to collect the traps and waited for his friend, but his friend never returned. Searching the trap line, Bo found him lying on the ground, half-eaten, with 4 deep puncture wounds in his neck.
So, okay, this is from a TikTok, like you mentioned, right? So the link will be posted in the show notes. Who knows how true it is or if somebody just made that up. But I feel like that would have made national headlines, no? If somebody was found half-eaten.
I would, yeah. I think that would be in the news.
Unless it's a cover-up.
Oh.
The government's hiding it.
Luis, you're getting crazy.
X-Files shit right there.
Yeah, just when X-Files episode, Mulder would be like, this is the famous white thing. And then Scully will be like, come on, Mulder. I want to go home and eat pizza. Let's call this.
Wait, I don't remember Scully having a propensity for eating a lot of pizza.
I don't know. But you know what I mean? It's like Mulder would immediately be dragging this on for so long. And Scully would have been like, dude, we figured it out. Yes, it was the white thing. Fine, you're right. But he's like, no, but it means something more. And he's like trying to explore. And that's when he gets...
No one ever told Mulder, hey, Mulder, just let it go. Okay, you're right. You win.
You win. Fine, let's go back.
He's like, no.
The next story is about the infamous Mothman. Now, Tim, Araya, what do you know about the Mothman, aside from the fact that, Tim smells like the Mothman every day?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm not going to answer.
I saw the movie.
Oh, yeah, there's a movie about the Mothman, yeah.
Yeah. All I know, I just know like it exists in this like coal mining town or a bridge or something, but I don't and why people are freaked out by it or like, well, who cares? I don't know.
I just think it's from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, but I don't know why I'm thinking of that. That name of the city comes to mind.
Yeah, I've seen like documentaries where people are like recounting stories of, boyfriend and girlfriend are driving through the woods in the middle of the day, and then they see something, they hear some flapping sounds, and then they look up and they see like this weird winged creature with red eyes.
And they realize it's Luis.
Hey, I am poppers.
He's flapping himself left and right.
What is the Mothman?
You're like, I'll tell you what the Mothman.
Well, I'll tell you, goddammit. Tonight, we're heading deep into the Appalachian shadows to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Between 1966 and 1967, this quiet town claimed it was home to something unnatural. They called it Mothman. But here's the thing. Early reports didn't call it a moth at all. Witnesses said it looked like a giant man-sized bird, tall, muscular, with wings so white they seemed to glow under heavy headlights. And those eyes, burning red, hypnotic, like when Tim's on poppers. The first sighting came from two young couples driving near the abandoned World War II TNT plant on November 15, 1966. They swore a creature 7 feet tall chased their car all the way into town, its wings hammering the air, screeching like nothing they'd ever heard before. That same week, other townsfolk backed them up. Volunteer firemen said it was a large bird with red eyes. A local contractor swore its eyes glowed like bicycle reflectors when its flashlight hit them. He even blamed Mothman for the buzzing in his TV and the disappearance of his dog. Where's my Pooh Bear?
Oh, is that a Killer Clowns from Outer Space reference?
That, but it was like, dude, you're blaming everything on the Mothman. It's like, I got these bills at home.
The electric bill's too high. That's the Mothman. I lost my favorite rifle. That's the Mothman.
Cancel my favorite TV show.
They canceled Matlock. That's Mothman.
I'm imagining Big Bird with like coal covering his feathers on
That
poppers.
is going to be the tagline we're going to use for this episode. I'm imagining Big Bird flapping his feathers on poppers.
Let's be honest. Big Bird was definitely borrowing the poppers that Bert and Ernie were using.
Some experts chalked it up to sandhill cranes or herons blown off course, but locals didn't buy it. The legend only grew, especially after tragedy struck on December 15, 1967.
It seems like locals never buy the obvious, simpler answer.
Are you calling them simple people?
No, I didn't say that. I just, it could be cranes.
If they're Southern, Southerners love storytelling and they love drama.
But they don't like the time glitching gas station one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, they also don't like us carpetbaggers telling them what their myths are about.
The Silver Bridge collapsed, killing 46 people. And just like that, Mothman was no longer just a monster story. It became an omen, a harbinger of disaster. Since then, sightings have popped up all over the world. Moscow, Chicago, Laredo, even new photos in West Virginia.
It does not say Laredo. Louise, we have to hold your feet to the fire on this. No.
Do you think when the Mothman travels, it's like a long flight across the ocean, so you think the Mothman has like a little passport card in his little briefcase? Like, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I bet he has a pre-check. Yeah.
TSA pre-check.
Yeah, definitely.
Most of them are probably birds or hoaxes. But if you ask Point Pleasant, the creature is real. So real, in fact, they built a 12-foot statue of it right downtown. And every year, thousands of people gather for the Mothman Festival to celebrate their most infamous neighbor. Do you think the Mothman is like when he's is that a way to keep him out of it? And he's like, okay, if you build a temple or a statue for me, I will like spare your lives and not bring disaster. Or
maybe
the Mothman walks into town and is like, that is not the way I look. Fuck these people.
I think the Mothman wants to be celebrated and is, I think, a little bit of both.
Oh, you think the Mothman is like wants to be celebrated but also pissed off? Like,
it's not his likeness. He's like, come on, get it right.
Yeah, like I look way better than that, people. Hello.
I mean, it did say he was muscular, right, in the previous thing. So I'm thinking that, he's like a little vain.
Agreed.
So whether you think the Mothman is a giant bird, a cryptid, or something paranormal, one thing's for sure. When the red eyes are watching, disaster isn't far behind.
Morgan Freeman.
I'm back. Yes, I'm back right now. Enjoy my voice. Anyway, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be talking about a real story about the Mothman, or so they say. This is from Reddit user MSuzyL66 from the subreddit No Sleep. Now, for this one, I'm going to read it a little differently. I'm going to read it like a character.
Ooh, I like that. What kind of character?
Well, Eloise, of course.
Oh, okay. But let's break out Eloise.
Yeah, let's break out Eloise. She needs to make a comeback for the Appalachian Mountains, but
It's her hometown, really. She lived in the same town as Britney Spears.
who will believe my story about the Mothman anyway? I haven't been on Reddit very long, and no, I'm not going to bother you with a throwaway account. I'm just going to own this. But I'm not typing this on a computer. I'm not stupid. I'm recording this on my phone. Because if anyone at work ever found out about this, I'd never live it down. I'm a college professor, you see. Grammar errors drive me insane. But tonight, you'll forgive me. Because what I'm about to share, it's true.
It sounds like she's almost moaning.
It's about the Mothman. The first time I saw him, it was 1975. I was 10 years old. Yes, I'm old, I get it. Don't judge me. My sister was 11. And for decades, we never spoke about it. Not once. Until recently.
Well, wait, 1965? That's not that old.
Hmm.
No, I mean, 75 is when it
75.
happened. I mean, she was born in 65 because she was 10.
Right.
It's not that old.
You two talking about my age like I'm not in the room. I'm right here.
Beg your pardon, ma'am.
That summer, my family was driving the East Coast in a rusty old van. God, I hated that van. It smelled like cigarettes and cheap poppers. South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up to New York. We saw Araya's grandmother there.
Wow, Araya, you're in the story.
We didn't stay in motels. Too expensive. My dad was a social worker. My mom stayed at home. We slept at rest stops.
She sounds like she's only now coming to terms with the fact that they stayed at rest stops.
So many disgusting truckers there peed on the grass, and we had... Anyway, that night, we pulled into a gravel lot in the mountains. Heavy forest all around. No one else there. My parents slept on the van floor with the baby. My sister and I, we were strung up in hammocks above them, heads pointed towards the windshield. It was dark, quiet, and then I saw them. 2 orange orbs hanging in the dark just beyond the glass. At first I thought, headlights. But no cars had pulled in. I got into the woods myself less than an hour before, and then the shape appeared. A head, massive, shoulders hunched. It was standing on our bumper. I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't move. And then my sister started crying. She saw it too. It wasn't just me. We both screamed for our parents. Nothing. No one woke up. Not my mom, and not my dad. Not even the baby. And then the door opened. But the dome light didn't come on. Something climbed inside. It turned. And those eyes? They were enormous, bright orange, burning into me. My sister and I dropped from our hammocks, slammed into our parents. Still nothing, no movement. Like the whole van was drugged. I remember pressing into my mom's side, sobbing, and then nothing. Just black.
This is like really creepy.
I know, I was there. I experienced it. The next thing I remember, it was morning. The driver's door cracked open. My parents swore we got out in the night, forgot to shut it, but we never left that van. We couldn't have. I don't know what I saw, but I've researched. I've looked at every account, and I'm certain it was Mothman. And my sister agrees. That's my story. He's real, and he seeks revenge for queer people that host podcasts.
No, what? Hey, what?
It sounds like maybe she and her sister got like sexually assaulted in the middle of the night in the 70s. Repressed.
But they use a symbolic thing as the monster, like the Mothman.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
Oh, so it's like they're transferred fears. Like it's like a psychological thing.
Yes,
Do
totally.
you think the Mothman uses his powers to like sexually traumatize people and then goes back to the woods and hides?
No, I think that the Mothman, Tim
It's
was
like a
saying.
mental representation of their fears of that kind of thing happening.
Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what that was, but
Or Victor turns into a creep when he's on poppers.
Let's break a record for how many times you could say poppers in a single podcast.
the final story takes us underground into the mines where ghostly figures are said to linger. Most often, they're known as Tommyknockers. We'll explore their folklore and then share one miner's chilling encounter with a spirit in the hills of West Virginia. Notice all these tales all take place in West Virginia, but anyway, our sources for these accounts include AppalachianHistory.net and the YouTube channel Jared King TV from his video, Appalachia, the Gold Miner Ghost of West Virginia. You'll find the links both in the show notes.
According to Merriam-Webster, a Tommyknocker, it's the ghost of a man killed in a mine. But the legend runs deeper than that. In Welsh, they are called knockers. In Cornwall, bucca. In Devon, waka. They're small, 2 feet tall, with big heads, long arms, wrinkled faces, and white whiskers. Dressed like miners but twisted, mischievous, stealing tools, stealing food, stealing peace of mind. Some say they were malevolent, spirits hammering in the walls before a cave-in. Others swore the knocking was a warning, a way of saying,
"Get out before it's too late."
Miners even crafted little clay statues with matchstick eyes and left pasties in the tunnels as offerings.
Wait, pasties like the thingies that are on boobies?
I know, now I'm thinking like Dolly Parton, Tommy knockers, and
Yeah,
then
what's
pasties.
the deal
What's going
here?
on
Like with
here?
little tassels, they just like leave them there?
Yeah. And
Or do they mean pastries?
that's how they wave, and that's how they warn people. They wave their boobs.
Knockers, pasties, wow.
The stories followed Cornish miners to America in the 1820s, settling deep into the coal veins of Pennsylvania, Kentucky, and West Virginia. By 1909, newspapers were already calling them the miners' ghosts. And in the 1970s, some towns even held Tommyknocker Week, half festival, half appeasement. But not all accounts were playful. In 1936, the Bluefield Daily Telegraph told of a mine foreman haunted by a dead co-worker spirit. The ghost whispered,
"They buried the wrong body under my name. Dig where I tell you, and you'll find me."
and he was right. Even in the 1960s, miners swore women weren't allowed underground, not just because of superstition, but because sometimes they said the ghosts of wives wandered those tunnels, searching for their husbands who'd never returned. Some believe the Tommyknockers had fallen silent, driven out by the noise of radios and machines in the mines. But others say they never left. And if you've ever been in a mine, you know the sound of earth shifting, wood creaking. But sometimes it's something else.
Do you believe in the Tommyknockers, that they exist to warn people of like impending doom?
I mean, I think it's a coping mechanism. Yeah, they do exist because they've been manifested by the people in that community.
Oh, I'm starting to see how it works with Araya. You think most of these are just people's own little psychoses due to, various emotional issues they have, huh?
In my field, we call them coping mechanisms.
I call them being a loony bin. No, I'm just kidding. I would never actually say
I wouldn't
that.
view it as psychosis. I think we all believe certain things to survive, right?
Yeah, no, of course. Like we make up our own scenarios as to what really happened or whatever. And sometimes it's just weird that you come up with a concept of a 2-foot big boob pasty wearing little midget and trying to warn people. But I kind of see that. Maybe it comes from like traditional folklore from somewhere else, because you said there were
Cornwall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm actually realizing?
Yeah, what's up?
If it's Cornwall, they have a thing called Cornish pasties there, which is a type of like a doughy, like it's like a snack. So I'm kind of wondering if we haven't been going about this entirely wrong and been thinking that they're saying pasties.
No, it's definitely exactly what you just said right now, because they said they leave it as offerings.
Yeah, I don't think it's pasties for your boobs.
Or UK listeners are listening to this and they're like, that's what we knew all along. Sorry to our British listeners. Wait, Cornwall's in the UK, right? Sorry.
Yeah, and the it's like a baked, it's kind of like an apple turnover, but it's full of meat, and it's kind of all over the British Isles, but it's definitely in Cornwall, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we were confused. Listeners, you can forgive us for this because it's knockers. I mean, give me a break.
What do we know?
Yeah, come on. What do we know? We're just a podcast hosted regarding this information.
Exactly. We're just spewing out information that we don't do research on. How about that?
Right. Give us a break.
Araya will now read a real life encounter of somebody who experienced a Tommyknocker.
Way back in the old days, deep in these mountains, there's no shortage of ghost stories, and this one comes from a viewer named Jack Collins for the YouTube channel Jerry King TV. He said, "Jared, I'm an old man now, born and raised in Virginia, but my pappy, he's from West Virginia, and Lord, did he have stories."
This is like Smeagol if he lived in Appalachia.
One in particular, Papa told many times. Always the same, always with that same fear in his eyes. Papa was a young man then, loved to take his horse, pack up some belongings, and disappear into the mountains. Hunt, fish, sit with the silence of the hills. It was early spring when he rode out for what should have been just another trip. 2 days on horseback, until he reached a ridge that seemed to be pulling him in. That night, he slept too long, woke at dusk, fished the creek, cooked his catch, sat by the fire, angry at himself for wasting the day. And then, he heard it. At first, he thought, maybe hunters, maybe travelers. But his horse grew restless, snorting, pawing at dirt. The laughter drew closer, louder. No lantern, no torchlight, nothing but the voice. Papa called out, "Howdy there!" He relaxed some, figured whoever it was moved on, until he heard a voice right behind him.
Howdy, mister.
Papa spun around. There in the firelight stood an old man, white hair, big brushy beard, dusty clothes. And he asked,
Get any coffee?
"Papa made him, son." The old-timer sat across the flames, grinning. Said he was hunting.
Gold, son. I'm looking for gold.
Papa chuckled nervously, told him, "Ain't no gold in these parts." But the old man leaned in, whispering,
Oh, I found it. Right along here.
and that's when Papa saw his face clearly. The man's head was caved in, his eyes gone, just black, hollow, staring across the fire. And he said,
Right here's where they tracked me down. Killed me for my gold.
Papa screamed, scrambled for his horse, took off into the night, leaving fire and gear behind. But every holler he passed through, every ridge he crossed, he heard that laugh. Ugh. Sometimes he'd see him too, walking along the trail, waving, grinning. Papa nearly fell from his horse, kept riding until he found shelter at a friend's cabin, didn't sleep a wink that night. And from that day on, he never camped alone again, never hunted these woods without company. Jack told me, when Papa got old, he still told that same story, voice shaking, eyes wide with memory. Never once did he change the details. The old gold miner ghost, always laughing, always looking for company.
Dun, dun, dun. What does that have to do with a Tommyknocker?
Yeah, where are the knockers?
Maybe the Tommyknockers got him for his gold.
Oh, maybe.
Knocked his eyeballs out.
Yeah, or maybe the Tommyknockers warned him, like, you better leave. There's people after you for your gold. And he's like, you ain't gotta tell me what to do. Whatever. He's like,
yeah,
I'm
good
gonna do my
point.
He's like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then bam, just gets like his face caved in with a huge rock.
Oh,
His gold
Nice.
stolen. And then the Tommyknockers are just there standing on the side, rotating their boobs with the pasties, and they're like eating pasties.
we established they're Cornish pasties. They're not. They're Cornish pasties. They're not pasties.
They're eating pasties while their boobs are turning the pasties.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And they're just like shaking their shoulders and like, we try to warn him, but he didn't listen.
That could be true.
Araya, Tim, I hope you both enjoyed these stories, but I have a hypothetical for both of you.
I guess. I mean, we'll have to see what it is.
I love your hypotheticals, Luis.
Imagine the two of you are hiking one of the thickest, most tangled trails in the Appalachian Mountains.
Ooh.
You decide to take a break and pull out some moonshine and catch your breath.
Oh dear.
Suddenly, from the shadowed woods, an elderly woman emerges, her voice otherworldly, raspy, and teasing.
Oh, I've been watching that chest on you, boy, and that mouth on you, girl. Or I don't know where to start. Maybe I'll just ride both of you at once.
Ride both of us at once?
What do you do?
Oh, that's so cringe.
Araya, you answer first while I pull myself together.
Oh, Tim.
Araya.
I would
Help.
like throw some stuff at her.
Yeah.
Oh no, no, we would
Araya's
have
like,
to.
well, we're not that desperate.
No, we're gonna have to tie her up and attach her to something so she can't get to us and leave.
Right, yes. And then we can call the authorities.
Y'all make it seem you can just like walk up to her and be like, okay, I'm gonna tie you up to a tree. And she's like, releases her her black old gown, and she has like little Cornish pasties on her boobs, and she's like,
You don't know what these mean.
now you're entranced in my little witchery.
You're entranced with these two flaky pastries on my boobs.
Sure that we're into it so we can tie her up.
True. We act into it, but secretly I'm passing a little bit of rope to Araya on her end, and then I'm passing it and have it on my end, and then we quickly hog
But
tie her.
Tim and I don't really know if the other one is actually into it and it's kind of freaked out.
Oh yeah, you're right. We'd have to kind of wink at each other as she's riding both of us at the same time.
Does not get to that point. Does not get to.
Oh, you're right. It's just for the beginning of that.
I was about to say, if you're winking at each other, doesn't that mean you're into it?
Oh, no, not like that kind of wink. Like I'm kind of gesturing like with my facial expressions. Like, come on, I'm handing you some rope.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We do this all the time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're like, oh, and this is great, and we're so into this, and then we're like, no.
She whips out a big glass dildo. Is like, little boy, you are first.
I'm like, please, no, Araya, tie her
And
up.
Araya's just like smoking a cigarette. She's like, huh?
Like, oh man, I'm gonna need some more moonshine for this.
And I'm like, stop drinking moonshine.
Araya, thank you so much for joining Tim and I to discuss your neck of the woods. What advice do you have for our listeners that are looking for their own spooky adventures in the Appalachian Mountains?
Just go for it. Don't get lost too far now. You might not come back out.
Yeah, honestly, that's really good advice. Don't go listening or don't go into the woods thinking it's like, oh, I'm going to create my own little adventure and I'm going to do this and that. It's like, no, you are going to disappear forever. The woods, they're really long.
Yeah, they're long woods. It's true.
Yeah, and they're all apparently just taking place in West Virginia. But
Also,
anyway,
serial killers, they hide.
Well, I'm more worried about the white thing.
There are going to be
Yeah.
plenty of white things around there.
Heyo.
if you enjoyed today's episode, then feel free to leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. If you'd like for us to cover a specific story or topic, then email us at ittybittyhorror@gmail.com. You can follow us on all social media under ittybittyhorror.
Tim, what are we discussing next week?
Well, Luis, next week we're going to continue our Midnight in October series, which is the highlight of the Itty Bitty Horror franchise, really, because October is our season. And we're going to be discussing one of the most tragic incidents in theme park history with the story of Six Flags Great Adventures Fire. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks you once again, listeners, and remember,
Even the smallest chills
can linger long
after the stories
and
You get that big rifle away from me.